Right now, we keep hearing the same advice. Don't worry about flattering. Wear only what you like. But I don't believe it has to be either or. We can have both. Let me break down the 8 principles that make that possible. Let's get the basis right by understanding the 2 different kinds of flattering that get mixed up all the time. Most online advice focuses on the first kind of flattering, following societal beauty norms. But people tend to believe it's the only kind of flattering, and that causes confusion and frustration. The second kind of flattering means staying in harmony with your body, your natural beauty. My credo here is that I do not want to look worse in my clothes than I look naked. The second kind of flattering is often contrary to the first one. For example, I have a pear-shaped body. Society will tell me to try and create an hourglass by emphasizing my shoulders. But actually, for the second kind of flattering, it is better for me to avoid really strong shoulder pads or puff sleeves because they overwhelm my narrow frame. Learning about that second kind of flattering is incredibly empowering. Suddenly, you will understand why materials, colors, and cuts look different on your body than they do on others. And breaking the rules for your individual appearance is so much easier and more effective when you understand the rules. Look for advice that focuses on working in harmony with the body and not on adjusting it. For example, Kibi for materials and silhouettes, and seasonal color analysis for understanding how colors interact with your own natural coloring. And surprisingly, the more you understand flattering, the less afraid you are of breaking it. This may be a controversial take, but I do believe that dressing to adjust to society, the first kind of flattering, is okay. We have that need to be individuals, but we also have that strong need to belong to a group. And most advice right now focuses on that first need, but neglects the second. As long as you understand why you're making your choices, I believe that trying to please and attract people with the way you dress is okay. It's about finding your balance, not about giving up one need completely for the other. The next tip is to be a scientist. Try out how people react when you don't follow the norms you believe to be true, because perhaps you're following the wrong rules, especially if you learn them on social media, because the societal expectations placed on a 20-year-old living in Manhattan is completely different to that posed on a 30-year-old living in rural Nebraska or a 60-year-old living in Tokyo. Next, find your own degree of flattering. I follow the 90% rule. On most days, I want my outfits to be 90% flattering. For you, it may be 95 or 70. This rule is not set in stone. On low energy days, I want the security of knowing I look really good, and I go for 98%. And sometimes I feel experimental and I try out outfits that just hit 80. But most of the time, 90% is what I aim for. You will not see me in a corn yellow sweater because that's my worst color, but I will wear royal blue. It makes me look paler, but not sick. So I think it hits around 90 on that flattering scale. This is not about lowering standards. Instead, it is about being very intentional in a different way. Just because something looks great on you does not mean you have to like it or wear it. I used to force myself to make that optimal choice, and letting go of that pressure was a game changer. There is always something that is just as, or at least almost as flattering. I struggle with styling green, my best color. So now I go for blue or gray, which I both really enjoy wearing. Not aiming for perfectly flattering outfits tends to look more modern. That touch of imperfection will add tension, interest, and surprisingly, a sense of ease, because your outfits don't look as if they're trying that hard. For me, this is the most fun part of getting dressed. If right now you believe your preference for flattering to be at 100%, try out if being a little bit less rigid in your choices brings you more joy when getting dressed. If you want a quick start on creating flattering but individual outfits, check out this video next.